Hello, everybody, and welcome to the sixth episode of the TSWP podcast. I am your host, Tim, joined as always by my co-host,
Sky Guy.
and today we are talking about something that totally isn't controversial in any way.
No.
Everyone loves this film, approaching its fourth anniversary of US release. It comes out on Friday, I think, the 25th, so 3 days after then. The Ninjago movie, which everybody in the fan base loves.
Exactly. Brilliant film. Amazing.
Yeah.
Visually stunning.
See, this part we're actually being serious about, because both you and me, we love this movie, even though nobody else does. But,
exactly. So we will basically now go on why we like this movie.
For like 20 minutes, and then we'll go on about the sets for like 20 minutes, and then we'll read everyone else hating on it for the next like 10 minutes.
So I think it's best that we start why we don't like this movie, and I think the main reason is that we are able to separate this from the show.
Exactly. A lot of people don't like it because they don't think it's Ninjago-y enough, or not like the show enough, but like
It was never meant to be the
it's
show.
not meant to be. Exactly. If it was meant, it's not even trying to be the show, and it's able to establish its own identity while still feeling Ninjago-y, I would say. Like,
Exactly. The only thing from the show that it has, it's some similar designs and the character names.
yeah. And the rest, it's able to do what it wants, tell its own story with the Ninjago characters. And what I like about this is it allows Ninjago, the brand, to be more than just the show. Like, it means it's got so many, like, elements and layers to it, and that's what I really like about the fact the film's in its own, like, bubble.
Exactly, that it got like so popular that they spent all this money to even make a full-length film that isn't tied to the show. As usually, if a show gets a movie, it's basically like another installment.
Yeah, but this is like they thought Ninjago is a powerful enough brand to stand alone and be a cinematic film, and you know they did it, and I think it does what it needs to really well. It's a really, like, detached from the Ninjago brand. You know, it's still a really fun action adventure kids film. You know, it's as we said, stunningly animated. I mean,
the animation is best animation that I've seen. I mean, it just looks so real. Like you can see every scratch on a figure. It's basically the Lego Movie animation, except better because this was made like 3 years later.
Exactly. And then, like, everything's so detailed, it feels real. And then, like, there's an element which is quite controversial, and that's blending with the real world elements, which some people don't like.
If you remember, in the original Lego Movie, you know, clouds and the skies and water,
Everything is Lego.
Everything was Lego. But in this one, it's meant to the directors, the director, wanted to make this movie feel as a kid was playing in a garden. So the sky is regular, and of course you have very grass elements, and of course the water is regular water as well.
Yeah, and I think the water animation is beautiful as well. Like, it's so real.
The water is like it doesn't look animated. It looks like, they took a camera to the beach and they shot some water. That's how good it looks.
Yeah, nothing in this film feels like it's CG animated. It feels so real in that way, and that's why I think it works so well. Even Meowthera,
like so much detail on them. Like you can see every scratch,
every like fingerprint. It's so good. And then you've got like, and it just creates its own visual identity with the blending of real world and non-real world things, like, because it's not trying to be the Lego Movie 1, and to separate it does some visual things different. It's not even trying to be the Lego Batman movie by doing that as well, and I think it just really works for me personally.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree. I love the feel that this movie is going for. Trying to be different than the two movies before it.
And aesthetically speaking, the look and vibe of Ninjago City is then implemented into the next season of the show, which is awesome because it really allows Ninjago City to feel like a character of its own in the Oni trilogy. And without the film, that just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, and while on the topic of Ninjago City being implemented into the show, of course, I think it's a good time to mention the very controversial redesigns.
Yes. In my opinion, I think all of the redesigns for them, the vast majority of the redesigns are better than the original. The only exception really being Zane, maybe. Uh,
Zayn I
but
really like. I only don't like Kai's hair because it's so big that on
it's
the some of the
too
sets the
tall.
cockpits don't
Yeah,
close.
don't close. Yeah, but apart from that,
It's
I
really
think
annoying.
Kai's hair and the lack of eyebrow notch on Jay are the only two things
And of
that I
course
don't
Jay
like.
not having orange hair. He should have
Oh
had
yeah,
his hair
that
in
too.
orange.
But the style of the hair is amazing. Such a
Oh yeah, the
beautifully
style,
detailed
but
piece.
the color is totally
Yeah, it's a
wrong.
bit. Yeah, the freckles I think add to Jay's character. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I think they really work quite nicely. And then also like the best one of these movie designs is easily
Is
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yeah,
Oh, I love his hairpiece.
it's
Especially
so
his foot
good.
piece.
It's such a beautiful hairpiece. It's like makes his hair so much more unique. And then they have the green eyes. I love the green eyes on Lloyd so much. It really gives him his own visual identity in a way. Like across not just Ninjago characters, but the whole Lego spectrum. He's the only character that has those coloured eyebrows and those green eyes. It's so distinct for him, and I love it
Exactly.
for
So
that reason.
if you have him in like a Lego city, if you
You
only
you
have like
know
yellow
it's
figures,
Lloyd.
you know it's Lloyd
Yeah,
exactly
you know it's
because
Lloyd
he has
because he's
those
got
blue
those
eyes.
eyes, and it's
Also,
really
I'm happy
cool.
that Zane has blue eyes. That looks also really cool.
Yes, it does look really cool. Um, yeah, it does actually. I really yeah. Zane's hairpiece is interesting because everyone else's hair gets bigger, but Zane's gets smaller. Which I think is
Oh, I
quite funny.
really like Zane. I really like Zane's hair. It's basically the same one, except that
Yeah.
it's smaller on the sides.
And then Nia. Let's talk about Nia real quick. Um,
Oh yeah, that's a great hairpiece as well.
Great hairpiece. I like the mole on the cheek. Adds a little bit more unique visual. They were literally using a city face for her. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Oh, and I also really like that she has arm printing.
Oh yeah. We finally get arm printing on Ninjago figures with this. Lloyd, Cole, and Nia all have printing on the arms, and it's
And Wu as
beautiful.
well.
Oh yeah, Wu does as well. Man, this is a good wave. Good. I love the suits, by the way. I know some people don't like how dark they are, but I think it makes them look very ninja. I prefer the Sog ones definitely, but I do like the suits, especially Lloyd's.
I think Lloyd's one is the best. I would say Cole looks a bit eh. I don't really care for Cole's suit.
I like the arm printing though.
Yeah, the arm printing is fine, but the entire suit it just looks too generic.
Jay's is cool.
Oh yeah, Jay's is
Um,
cool. I remember getting that figure super early. I got it. Kai and
oh,
Jay. I actually got in. I don't know if I ever told you this story.
you haven't.
Ah, haha. Okay, so basically, when I didn't live in Poland, I mean when I was in a different country for some time in my life,
Mm-hmm,
there was this like basically definition of eBay except for that country.
mm-hmm,
And because it was such a big country, they had a lot of you could find a lot of different stuff there. Like for example, I found my stone armor Kai there. And one day I'm scrolling, and I see the Lego Ninjago movie Garmadon, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is May. This is supposed to release, and this is supposed to, this is supposed to release in August. How am I seeing this?" And then I see on the guy's page, and I see all the ninja, except I think Nia. I don't think he had Nia,
Ooh,
but he had
yeah.
every ninja and Garmadon. Oh, Lloyd, he didn't have
Mm,
Lloyd as well. But he had Garmadon and the main four
unsurprising.
ninja. Uh,
Ooh.
and I was like, oh my! And at the time, still to this day, though, Jay and Kai, my favorite ninja. So I begged my parents because they were actually really cheap, even though they were early, luckily. So my parents allowed me to get them. So I had Kai from the Ninjago movie and Jay in May of 2017.
That's
Oh,
awesome. So yeah, I remember getting them. Not, I don't have that exciting a story. I got them like a week early. what happened was if I can recall correctly, it took me until October to get all of the Ninjago Movie Ninja. Because what happened was I if I can remember correctly, yeah. So I got Jay in the Flying Jelly sub a week early, and so did I also got Cole in the Manta Ray Bomber a week early. Then I got Lloyd in the Blind Bags a couple days before the Blind Bags officially released. And then I got Kai and Zane, I think, on August 1st, in the little dojo training set. And then Nia, I bought the Water Strider for, which, we'll get to the sets in a bit. It was a weird set. Not the best from the film, but not the worst at the same time. But yeah, I have some fond memories with these guys. I love the look of the ninja movie suits.
I didn't have luckily such a length in getting all of them, as I got the bounty on day one, so I acquired all of them in one swoop.
Yeah, really easily. Yeah.
Plus,
I wish I got that. Yeah, that's really, really convenient. Yeah, I had a very staggered getting of them, and keep in mind, Cole didn't have arm printing in the Manta Ray Bomber. So I never got arm printing Cole until literally this year, because I didn't have any of these figures apart from Lloyd anymore.
Wait, he didn't have arm printing in the Manta Ray Bomber?
No, he didn't. Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. I thought he had them.
No, yeah, he didn't, yeah. But, yeah, earlier this year, I was like, I need to get out the Ninjago Movie Ninja. Oh, I hope they're cheap. They're, like, £2 on Bricklink each. So I was able to get them all for, like, a tenner. Because I got them all from the same seller, I think. So that's really convenient. And the Cole even had arm printing there, so I got Cole with arm printing. Now,
really
it took me, like, 4 years. But, yeah. And I love those suits.
I still need to get a Woo with arm printing, as he only came in the CMF.
Yes, I've got a Woo with arm printing, but I've lost the hat, so it's not very, very rare, but still, I would like to find it.
You can just use any Woo hat.
Yeah, exactly. I love the fact they gave Woo some cloth. For the skirt thing, for the robes. I wish they kept that, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that looked very nice.
Really looked nice, but sadly they didn't.
But one thing that wasn't very nice was the mask pieces. They looked great in the movie itself,
fantastic,
and they look great when they're put on, but they're awful to take off.
Yeah, because you have to literally rip the head off, put the bottom part. Pray you don't lose it, because the top mask, part of the mask, came off super easily. I lost my Ninjago Movie Cole mask, like, in September, and I rebought the Manta Ray Bomber eventually, because it was £8 in Tesco, so yes, of course I bought it again. So then that's how I got it again. But yeah, for the longest time, my Cole had lost his mask because of how annoying the mask pieces were.
Yeah, I remember, they just so easy, like, you just put a little bit, you just held the figure by the head, and then the top part would basically pop off.
Yeah, and it's, if you want to have them with their amazing new hair pieces, then well, you have to literally rip off their head. Pray you don't lose the head or the bottom part of the mask. Pop it back on. Pop the hair on. Then if you want to put it back on the mask, you have to do it all again. And it's so annoying. That is why I way prefer the Legacy hoods.
Oh yeah, I'm very curious when we will get, like, new generic hoods.
Yeah, because these are sticking to next year because of those suits that leaked, and I'm pretty confident they're the ones.
Exactly. So
list of sets.
We got the pilot ones, and they were for 1 year. Then we got the Rise of the Snakes. That was till tournament, so 3 years.
Yeah. And then they did the rebooted masks, which to this day are getting used.
They actually had a big break, like, since season 4 till Island.
Yeah.
They had,
till the Island.
They had, like, 10 seasons. They were gone for 10 seasons.
And then they were like, hey, remember these? I love the rebooted masks, though.
Yeah, but back... yeah. So then...
Yeah.
So we had...
then we had
Possession.
Possession hoods.
And they were till Hands of Time.
To Hands of Time. Then we had these hoods. The movie hoods, which was... From the movie to Hunted, they did not last long, did they?
Which I'm glad about.
Yeah, because they're not very good. And then we've had these ones. This is the third year of them, and then like they're going to be in 2022. So this will be the fourth year of that piece.
Yeah, and mostly these hoods have been max 2 years, two to
Yeah,
three
so
years.
that's. But then again, I don't see a reason. The only reason I would improve them is because it's annoying that you can't fit any of the armor with them. But apart from that, they're really good.
Exact. Oh yeah, yeah. It's really frustrating with the thing.
Yeah. So the only change I'd make is maybe make it so the bandana doesn't droop down, like how they have it on the Forbidden Spinjitzu hoods. Do it like that, when it's like much shorter. But yeah, but we
But
still got a
luckily,
new ninja hoods,
but we still
but
get, yeah, exactly, like for Master of the Mountain and Prime Empire
and Prime
and
Empire
Seabound.
and Seabound, but we've not gotten a new set of like generic hoods, because they're all very specific to the context of the season.
Exactly. Like Prime Empire and Master of the Mountain will probably never return.
Yeah, I'll be really surprised if they're able to put them in another set.
I
But
think
yeah, same with
they mostly
Seabound.
did, like, for Wild Brain. They did all these new hoods each season. So for the 10th anniversary, they can all look different.
Mm. And then they just gave up on Nia, didn't they? They didn't give her the scuba gear.
Oh yeah, because that would look really bad in gold.
Really bad in gold. Yeah, they probably wouldn't be able to recolor the rubbery bit in gold anyway. So
Exactly. So they just gave her the knee at her piece, which I think is great.
yeah, which is great because that's like the key moment of that character. To be honest, like it is, it's very iconic already for her. So yeah, we could go out on a bit of a tangent, didn't we?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, movie
Back
very good.
back to the
Movie
movie.
very good.
The movie is we really enjoy it. Basically, um, we haven't even talked about like the best part, which is Garmadon.
Garmadon, funniest part and the best part.
He's so good. He's so entertaining in like every single scene. He's just such
Also, I
a
love how
joy to watch.
I love how they did them visually with the movement that he has with the forearms. They really use that very
Yes.
creatively, especially in the jungle sequences.
Also, I love how he's quite reminiscent of his original design, but just better.
Hmm.
That's basically what he is. But I love Garmadon. He's just so ridiculously entertaining. I rewatched the film, you see, and there's that amazing scene when the ninja are carrying him in a cage and they all talk to him, and it's really
Oh yeah,
entertaining.
that's the
About
funniest scene in the movie probably.
It's so funny,
Uh,
and it also helps flesh out the other ninja a little bit because
exactly. Oh yeah,
it's
because
Lloyd's
like
movie.
it's Lloyd's movie. Like Cole gets 1 minute of screen time, I think, in total
Yo,
when he
yeah, it's
speaks.
ridiculously low. Yeah, he doesn't do much, but I like that scene for bonding the team.
Oh yeah, Cole I think does the least in this movie.
He does. I would if you had to rank it by how much they do. Obviously, Lloyd does the most.
Then I
I
think
think
Nia or
Nia.
Zane.
Yeah, Jade is quite a bit. To be fair,
He's number 4, and then Kai 5,
yeah.
and Cole
Kai,
6.
Kai doesn't think. Yeah, Jay's quite fun in this film. I enjoy this version of him. He's a very very different version of the character, but he's entertaining. I liked the music thing they had going on with Cole. It would have been cool if they implemented that in the show. Well, they sort of did, but not like in the same way. Because I liked.
I mean,
I
Cole
liked
had always a
Cole.
musical like thing to him, as his father is literally a musician.
Exactly. So I'm happy that the film was almost able to like reference the more musical background to the character by making it his only character trait.
One thing though that's funny in this movie, funny. One thing that's interesting is how Spinjitzu basically is non-existent in this movie.
It's like like a training move, and that's it.
Exactly like a Tai Chi sort of thing.
Yeah, which I would have put Spinjitzu in the movie. That's one thing I would have done differently.
Which is interesting, as one of the sets has like Spinjitzu on the box art.
I know it's just called Spinjitzu training, and then they just gave up in the movie. Yeah, that's the only time I would say it isn't Ninjago-y. The rest of it feels very much like a good homage to the show.
I think they didn't do Spinjitzu though because they would like in this Lego form. They probably, it would be very hard to animate.
Yes. Oh, it would have been. Yeah. And also, I don't know like how that could have implemented into the storyline they were going for.
Exactly. I guess you could
So
have. It could have been just a move they used or
they
something.
use, yeah. What's curious is they even did a spinner for Lloyd for the movie.
Exactly, because the other ones were like Sog.
But Lloyd was the film, and then it just didn't happen.
Oh. Yeah, but those were very weird. Those Spinjitzu things.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like the figures at all. For the Sog Spinjitzu Masters, they're not my favourites. But there were useful ways of getting the Ninjago movie hoods in really cheap sets.
But I mean, the Ninjago movie hoods were already cheap.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. That's like a weird point in the film. Actually, the lack of any Spinjitzu.
But speaking of the sets, I think it's a good time to mention those.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit already, but I mean, the best Ninjago sets ever made.
Probably one of the best Lego themes ever. There's so much detail in every set.
Every set hits. Like, even the ones that are much more like for play are still incredibly good. Like, the Flying Jelly sub has that beautiful boat for a side build, and then the sub itself is just really awesome. I even like the Manta Ray Bomber.
The Manta Ray Bomber has an amazing gun at the back.
I love how it's got them, like, literally has a manta ray face. It's so goofy, and I love it.
I really like how they did the villains for the season with the fish people.
Yes, Seabound. Am I right?
They kind of returned to that for Seabound.
Yeah, that's probably why we never got an underwater season beforehand, because the movie did that.
Exactly. Though they did do it differently as in the show itself, as that was snakes basically.
Yeah, Hydra with baby. Yeah. So but I really like the look of the Garmadon's army.
Yeah. Especially the ones that
really
had
awesome.
like the molds for
yeah
fishes.
Really good. Yeah, I really liked Garmadon's army.
I love the general's designs in his army with like the dark blue. They looked really, really good.
Obviously, back on the sets, we had all the mechs, like every single one of them was good. I think the only one that I'm not too big on the ice tank, personally, just not my cup of tea. And the water strider was good, but quite a flimsy build.
I don't really care for... I only care really for... Lloyd's dragon is an amazing build, one of the best Ninjago sets ever. Easily.
Cole's mech is beautiful.
Kai's I also really like, just because it's so tall.
I got the lightning jet because it was 30 quid. So
Jay's, my problem with Jay's is like the antennas break so easily.
They fell off way too easily, but it's such a fun set to intensely display.
Yeah, so
I don't have it anymore.
Those antennas were and Water Strider is just my problem. Water Strider is like the ugliest thing I've seen in a while.
It's not the best. Yeah, I literally got it because I needed Nia.
Oh, you should have saved up the money for like the ultimate weapon temple.
I was going to get that for Christmas, and then I was like, nah, and I didn't. And then I was also going to get the Destiny's Bounty for Christmas, and I was like, oh, I want an iPad, so I didn't get the bounty, and I regret it to this day.
You didn't get the best set that Ninjago made.
Like, yeah, and it gives me depression, to be honest, because it's beautiful. It's huge. It's absolutely enormous. It's like 2,000 pieces or something.
Exactly.
And it was
the interior is amazing.
It's in the UK. It was £15 cheaper than the Legacy Bounty.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think that makes me feel?
That's
It is pain. Yeah. I still like the Legacy Bounty, but it's not the same, is it?
This is it's like the movie bounty is basically a UCS bounty.
It pretty much is.
Oh, it has so much space in it.
Yeah. But Then let's talk about Ninjago City.
Oh yeah, this
It's
theme started in Ninjago City. Sets.
yeah, I'm I'm not gonna lie. I think my least favorite Ninjago City set is Ninjago City.
The first one.
I I prefer the docks massively. I love that set. I was going to get it and then I didn't. I'm so annoyed. And Gardens is maybe the best Ninjago set ever made. So somehow I would say Ninjago City, the original, might be the worst. I just don't like the sand green that it uses quite a lot.
But I love the stores though in the first one. Like I love Lloyd's apartment and I love the comic book shop. I love the crab restaurant. The ATM is great. The fishing dock is great. The elevator is great. All the posters are really really good. Uh,
Yeah, so the sets were amazing. They also there was one set which I saw in a store really recently actually from the film. I didn't buy it because it was like easily one of the
weaker ones.
weirdest Ninjago sets. Yeah, it was the from Wave 2 and it was the Piranha Mech.
Oh, I have that still.
Yeah. It's a weird set. Lady Iron Dragon.
I got it for I got it for Coco.
Who has the worst face print I think I've
Oh,
ever seen.
but I like the armor. Though. The armor is cool.
But I love the armor. I adore that figure apart from the face. I think I just swapped it out because I did get that set back in release and then I could have got and it broke. But when I did have it back in the day, I think I just swapped it for the blind bag face.
Oh, you know what's the weirdest inclusion like in any of these sets is that Coco appears in Cole's mech in her Lady Iron Dragon. That makes no sense at all.
Oh yeah, including Coco in that. That was weird. Weird choice. But yeah.
Yeah, like it makes no sense because that mech is like at the beginning of the movie, and they just randomly put in Coco.
Put in Coco. Yeah. But yeah. Overall, pretty amazing sets. Overall, like they're just some of the best details, some of the best effort. I mean, like things like the bounty. I mean, they will forever be the best Ninjago sets. I feel. Like we're never probably going to get Ninjago sets as good as those, to be honest. Unless they did another movie.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So overall, I would give the movie probably 8. 8 out of 10.
I think I give it an 8.5. Really, really solid time. Really fun. Really funny. Like ridiculously funny. Awesome
visually,
feel.
Visually amazing.
Soundtrack's great. Visually pretty much flawless. Oh, one thing real quick. I don't like. Here's a criticism. I really don't like the bookends with Jackie Chan. They're just weird.
Oh yeah, and the big opening as well with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, and the kids all like, whoa, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, it's I don't get why they included that. It was obviously a last minute addition.
Oh, it definitely was. And it was just like, let's include Jackie Chan for some reason. And then they did.
Oh yeah, speaking of Jackie Chan, I love the choreography for the fights. They're very, very good.
Yes. Very good.
As they based it off of Jackie Chan movies.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that really amazing feel.
Yeah, the fight scenes are really superb, actually. Because I think they had it, like, they did some mocap thing to help as well. It was really awesome.
So now, let's take a look what people think of the movie.
They're not going to be as positive as us, are they?
So let's check Twitter. Here, we're gonna read 8 comments in total. As we are running a bit short on time.
Yeah.
Okay, Frosty says...
Oh, no. What about Krusty? Krusty put really good stuff.
Oh, yeah, I agree with Krusty.
Yeah,
really good stuff.
Jeffy blocked me, so I can't read out his comment.
Oh, then I will.
I'm shaking, I'm crying right now.
Jeffy says the worst thing in this planet Earth. Oh, you haven't seen America, Jeffy.
We have to keep that in.
Uh,
It's really good.
uh,
That's how many have we read out?
like 3, I think.
Yeah. Kevin. As Kevin said, it's pretty decent. Probably the most visually stunning Lego film. Yes, it is.
Oh, definitely agree with that one.
And the Garmadons were the most compelling aspect of the film. Yes, they are. However, it focused too much on the comedy over the drama, and the supporting cast were forgettable. I'm okay with it focusing on comedy more because it's really funny. But yeah, the supporting cast could have done more. Yeah.
Next comment is from Averick, and he says, "Good sets, lame and boring movie."
I disagree
a lot
with the back half because they're amazing sets, not good sets, amazing sets.
Yeah, I disagree with them.
It is a really fun film. Yeah. Our boy Philip put a trash can.
Oh, Philip, you don't like New Ninjago, don't you?
Yeah. He put a trash can twice, Philip.
Oh, he did twice?
Yeah, I've liked both of them. But yeah, wow.
Oh, Philip, so he hates double the hate.
Yeah, is that the fourth? Was that the fourth one? Fourth or fifth? Dorwo says, way too overhated. The movie itself is pretty good. It's not the best piece of media ever, but it's still a fun time. And a beautiful movie. And it best looking Lego movie out of the 4. Yes, it is.
Oh. Yeah, I agree then. Well, I agree with that. Yeah. Your illegal penguin meme dealer, long name, says, disappointing. The concept of a Ninjago movie was amazing, and it could have been, but we ended up with a rushed, mediocre film with good animation and the comedy that lacks the heart of the TV show. There are something...
I don't agree.
Some things I really like with being rushed, but the rest I disagree with.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of heart, actually.
Exactly.
It's not as good as the show, but...
It was never meant to be. The show has, like, at this point, it had, like, 7 seasons plus 2 specials.
Yeah. And here we have another comment. Burnished says terrible.
Oh, a similar comment is here from... Oh, and a similar comment is here from Chris Dorn, who says, F it.
Oh, wow. Also, one thing I want to talk about real quick in the comments is a lot of people mentioned that they would have liked it to have stuck to the original plot they had.
Which was a time travel plot.
Which was a time travel... Well, okay, yeah, I think that could have been way cooler. But I do like what we got. But I would have liked to have seen the time travel film quite a lot. And it also means that Hands of Time would have never happened, which is another huge bonus.
But that means the show probably would have ended.
Yeah, so... You know, it is what it is. I get why they didn't go time travel, because you don't particularly see ninja and then think, yeah, time travel, do you?
Exactly. So it makes it more sci-fi than fantasy.
It makes it... Yeah, it keeps it fantasy.
Exactly, and the show would have probably then ended in season 7.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically our overall thoughts and your overall thoughts. I would say ultimately, I'd say the film is it's a good time. I'd say I think it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's a great time. Just a fun movie in general. Yeah. If you don't see it as if you separate it from the show, then it's very good.
So, yeah. And also, real quick talk about its anniversary. 4 years. That's insane. That is absolutely... What happened to the time? I can't... It's really weird. But yeah, that is it. 4 years now. But you know...
It's crazy how it
is an enjoyable film.
Yeah, as I said, if you're able to, like, separate it from the show, then it's a great film.
Yeah. So that's pretty much our thoughts on the Lego Ninjago movie. If you have your opinions, put them in the comments. You probably will disagree with us. Not many other people like this
Uh,
movie, but we
so
do.
yeah,
So
so if you enjoyed
you
this,
know,
like if you didn't, then dislike and tell us why you don't like the movie.
yeah. So yeah. And on that note, um, we'll see you next time for the next topic. Which I don't. What is the next topic? When we
Oh, you'll
decide
see our next topic.
what we're
It will
doing.
be fun.
Yeah, that's a good pause. Okay, bye bye.